At Kroger, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you'd get in-store. So you can save when you order during band practice, or at the dog park, or wherever. Start your cart with the Kroger app and save from wherever today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. $35 order minimum. Restrictions may apply. Subject to availability.
Choose from a great selection of digital coupons and use them up to 5 times in one transaction. Check our app for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hi, welcome to your neighborhood pharmacy.
Hi, I've got a prescription for diabetes test strips. How much is the copay?
Well, it depends on your type of commercial insurance and factoring in your yearly spend, subtracting the deductibles, also depending on your monthly allowance.
Why can't there be a better option?
Or you could try Contour Next test strips. A 35 count's only $19.99 over the counter and proven to be highly accurate. Go to contournext.com/radio to see if over-the-counter strips are a more affordable option for you.
I think I'll try Contour Next.
Welcome to the Hypothalamic Amenorrhea podcast. I'm Danny Sheriff, your host, certified fertility awareness practitioner, functional nutrition counselor, and founder of the HA Society, and of course, an HA recovery coach who has walked where you currently are walking. This is the place to come if you care about getting your period regularly. This podcast aims to educate, inform, and keep you motivated on your period and HA recovery track. So let's dive in. But last thing, nothing on the show should be taken as medical advice, so please seek the advice of your physician.
Hello, welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm going to do some Q&A. So I get a bunch of DMs with questions. If you ever have a question, go find me on Instagram at Danny Sheriff or at the HA Podcast. And I've had a few DMs build up, so I'm just going to answer them today and hopefully they help you. Okay, so the first one is from Six with Skin. Hello, Danny. I'm not sure if you read or respond to DMs, but thought I'd reach out. I recently moved out and am on my own for groceries, which only seem to be getting more expensive. True. Do you have any recommendations for food or meals that support HA recovery on a budget? So the good news here is that food that is healthy for you is not always necessarily expensive. Yes, would it be great if you could always buy organic, grass-fed, yada yada? 100%. Would it be awesome if you could eat whatever foods you wanted, even though they might be expensive, like a ribeye steak that can be like $30 a pound, or whatever fruits and vegetables are not in season. But the trick really is to just eat what's in season and eat what's cheap in abundance. I've done this my whole life, honestly. You know what? That's not true. When I was in the deepest of my diets, what's funny is that I would spend more money trying to eat less food, like low-fat things, the leanest meats, weird products that are like low calorie but taste like the real thing, right? Like PB Fit powdered peanut butter and weird stuff like that, like things that actually make you not feel well. But I'd happily spend more money on something that allows me to eat less calories in order to feel more full. It's wild, right? Now is the time to do the opposite. All the things that you used to avoid that were actually rather inexpensive are now in your arsenal, right? So those like cheaper cuts of meat, right? Like chucks, and they have different names in different countries. Stew meat, essentially, like big things of ground meat, and like whole chicken is super cheap compared to skinless, boneless chicken breast. Like all of these things are so much more nutritious. They have the fat, they have the skin, they're not heavily processed, trying to like make them as lean as possible. And they're significantly cheaper per pound or per kilo. So go into the meat store and look for those bulk things that are cheaper per pound that you can make a lot of, so you can have more of it as well. You can eat more of it for cheaper. Same with vegetables, right? Figure out what's seasonal, fruit and vegetables. So we just came out of summer, we're in summer still, stone fruit season. So it's like peaches, nectarines, plums, ahoy, so much more affordable, so much more abundant. But when that dries up and we go into the winter foods, I'm going to be looking more at fruits and vegetables that I'm not as interested in. So I'm probably going to load up a little more on potatoes, but mashed potatoes, roast potatoes are great, and butter, right? Which is also super inexpensive, but it's something that you would probably never used to have purchased for yourself. So I think what you really need to do is go into the grocery store, dedicate an hour, maybe even 2 hours to looking through the shelves at everything that's available with your budget in mind, and you might be surprised. It's when you stop looking for like the fancy diet food that you realize it's actually rather affordable to eat a lot of things, right? A jar of peanut butter is like $2, right? It's like, that's inexpensive, and that's a lot of calories. Junk food in particular, right, is inexpensive, so there's no issues there. Like I said, search for high quality meat, but with the less desirable cuts, but are great for stews and curries and soups or stir fries. When it comes to seafood and vegetables, the frozen stuff, right, snap frozen vegetables even retain a higher level of nutrients. So get the frozen ones, get the frozen seafood. Those things are always cheaper than the fresh, and that's a really easy, inexpensive way to get on top of your nutrition. I hope that helped, guys. Eat seasonal, eat cheap, eat whole food, and you'll be good. Okay. Iris asks, hey, I've had HA for a little over a year. I'm a student and I have a part-time job, which forces me to walk around and stand a bit during the day. I'm scared this is prolonging or even stopping my recovery. I've incorporated weightlifting as I've been weight restored for a while and wish to build some muscle. I was wondering if you have any thought. Is it impossible to recover while being active, but making sure to eat plenty? Or am I being completely counterproductive? So I'm going to answer this in a few different orders. Okay, first of all, is it impossible to recover while being active, but making sure to eat plenty? Yes. For many, many, many people, it is. For a small amount of people, not so much. Depends on your history. How long have you had HA? Do you have a history of other eating disorders? How depleted is your body? All that stuff. And in particular, how stressed is your body? Or am I being completely counterproductive? So you actually gave me your age in this, and you're quite young. So I want to say that due to your age, you can't possibly have had HA for over 10 years. But so that just means that I do believe you can get your period back while having an active job and just eating enough. Absolutely. Eat, and you should be able to. Some things that you did say though is I've been weight restored for a while and I wish to build some muscle, and so I am still working out. And that is a little red flag to me, not knowing you personally, that when we are feeling like I want to build some muscle, I will need to lose some weight, or I just need to get back into exercise before we've recovered our period, we can't yet say we're definitely weight restored. There are some instances with clients I've worked with where we can say that you're weight restored before you've gotten your period, but it's like, it's only ever been like two people max. It's very uncommon. If you haven't got your period back and you have no signs of it coming anytime soon, I encourage you to not say you're definitely weight restored, because that might not be reality. And I would encourage you to always get a second opinion on whether or not you think you're weight restored from a trusted professional, right? So not just your MD, because they're just going to look at you and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, you are totally normal weight for your height. No, someone who understands where you're coming from, what you've been through, and what is actually weight restored for healing hormonal endocrine system issues, for turning your menstrual cycle back on. So in short, it's possible. I think you're probably overtraining though. On days when you're working and on your feet, you shouldn't be exercising. Definitely shouldn't be weightlifting.
We have been working with women one-on-one to get their periods back for well over a year, and it's been really effective. We strongly believe that you need a individualized, custom recovery protocol that goes across nutrition, lifestyle, mindset, exercise, the whole thing. And we believe in that a lot. We're not really willing to waver from that. But what we have been doing up until now is only offering video-based coaching. And we've been hearing from you guys that that's great, but doesn't work for everyone. So we want to implement this new trial of email-based only coaching. So no scheduling, no Zoom calls. It's all through email. We do a weekly check-in, so you'll send us an email once a week with all of your details, what was working, what's not working. We'll make tweaks and changes to the plan. We'll also get you on track with learning to use the fertility awareness method to track progress. You'll get a customized program. We'll be basically holding your hand through the whole process, and you'll also be able to chat with us as much as you want, or to your assigned coach as much as you need in between these weekly official check-ins. So who is email-based coaching for? It's for anyone who is going through HA recovery, trying to get their period back. It's for anyone who has had a recovery period or 2 or 3 and is looking for help optimizing or getting pregnant or getting back to training and trying to ensure that training isn't getting in the way of their menstrual cycle. We're all about custom goals here, and everyone's an individual and everyone's life is individual. And so we want to work with you to reach whatever goal you have in a way that works with your lifestyle and your mindset, all while helping you to have a solid, healthy relationship with food, with your body, with your exercise. That's our whole mission. So if that's your mission, come and join us. We'd love to work with you at thehasociety.com/coaching. Go there, hit buy now, get started, and I'll immediately send you your intake forms and we can get started with your goals right away. So that's thehasociety.com/coaching.
I would encourage you at your super young age and time spent with HA, I would encourage you probably just to not work out at all to get your period back ASAP. You have heaps of time ahead of you. And that's my answer on that one. Okay, last one. This is from Clo. Hello, I have a quick question for you. So basically I dieted for the first time early this year as I wanted to shred the extra fat that I had. I'm very muscular. At the end of it, I was only eating 1,400 calories, going to the gym and doing some other sports. I hadn't the muscle definition that I was looking for. I lost a lot of muscle and I also lost my period. Since then, I went on a reverse diet more than a month ago. I stopped counting my calories as it became extremely obsessive, unhealthy. I was at about 2,000 calories. I did a sort of all-in. Since I stopped counting my calories, I've gained some fat as I'm less active than usual due to holidays, and I feel like I've been doing this all for nothing. I'm lost. I think that I simply need to go back to the gym and continue to eat everything I want to. I want to get my period back, but I also want to go back to the gym, be as active as I was before everything, and achieve the body that I'd like to have. I'd really like to have a body recomposition with more muscle and less fat, but I don't know what to do and how to do it. Thank you very much for your help. I really appreciate your content. Well, thank you, Coco. I really appreciate you and your question. And I think that your question is, because actually, truthfully, you don't ask a direct question. It's more of like a bunch of statements. And I think, yeah, you're just like, help, like, this is my situation, advice. I hear what you're saying. You want to get your period back. What you've tried has elicited results that you do not like, and you haven't gotten a period out of it either. So that's frustrating, but you really want to get back to the gym and have your cake and eat it too. That's okay. Everyone here listening feels the exact same way. And what I appreciate about your message is that you are articulating exactly what you're thinking and feeling, okay? You have articulated that so well. Like, this is an example of a journal entry that I want everyone to try. Like, what is the thing you want? But now it's time to look at it for what it really is. You have not yet addressed the need to control your body and make it look how you want it to. There has been no mention here of feeling better, of being in a healthy state, of having a better relationship with your body. You're still tied very much to being a certain body fat percentage and a certain like muscular aesthetic, and you're afraid to let that go. And there's certain stages that you have to go through in this process of like acceptance, and right now you're at an early stage of acceptance. You know, you did a sort of all in. Look, I don't have your height and weight. If you're muscular, if you have a history of training, you went down to 1,400 calories, which is just way too much. So you probably flatlined your hormones completely. You brought yourself up to 2,000 calories, which is very unlikely to be sufficient for you. It was probably enough calories to get some things to improve for you, but not enough to get your period back. And since I stopped counting my calories, I gained some fat as I'm less active than I usually do due to holidays. And I've been doing all this for nothing. So stopping your calories and having gained some fat sounds like it's been a trigger. Sounds like it's been something that like has happened and that has been acutely upsetting. And that's probably somewhere where you need to learn to be a little comfortable for a while. Recovery is not easy. There is no way to get exactly what you want. Unfortunately, I have compassion for you for that. I get it. I really get it. And unfortunately, we live in a culture and a society where you have been told that it is reasonable and actually the best thing that you can do for yourself to chase having a certain body type, and you should be able to have everything and be healthy at the same time. You should be able to have your health, have your libido, have your relationships, all that. You should be able to have all those things, and that's not reality. reality is you make choices. And right now, you're edging yourself towards recovery. It's something that you want deep inside, but on the surface, the desire to be aesthetically pleasing to the norms of society is just like still too strong. And right now, what you need to do is potentially pause and get to work on that. Because I think that you're fighting against the information that is like, you might be too lean and you might be exercising too much. And I think you're fighting and you're holding on too hard to that. And you might need to look at that for what it is first and go through the grieving process. That is the acceptance of that. I hope that was helpful. I know it's probably not what you wanted to hear. You probably want to hear, just track your cervical mucus and your temperature and eat enough and you should be good. But I would hedge a bet that if we took your temperature, that it would be pretty low and that you would have pretty little cervical mucus and that we need to build that back up. That's my intuition. Because if you are very muscular and you're an average height and you're gaining an obscene amount of body weight quickly, it's a sign that metabolism's low, right? So I have a hunch just based on the things that you're saying that that's the situation and that we need to pause and do a whole relationship with our body and food thing. Because if we're not willing to let that go, the mind knows what you want and it will work with the intentions of weight loss, not with the intentions of recovery. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. If you liked this, please subscribe. Please head to my channel, my Instagram, or in the comments below and ask your question. I'd love to answer it on a future episode. And I hope you'll have a really great day.
When you're living with atrial fibrillation, finding the right treatment plan for you can make all the difference in your health and how you live. After working to reduce your stroke risk, the initial treatment for AFib is often to stabilize your heart rate, but managing and controlling your heart's rhythm may be just as important for long-term health. Educate yourself about rate and rhythm control. Ask your healthcare professional about how to get in rhythm and stay in rhythm. Learn more at stopafib.org.
When you think about something that brings out the best in us, it usually involves helping someone else. By donating plasma at a Grifols Center, you can help save millions of lives and show your good side to the world. You'll join thousands of people who donate safely each week, so patients get the plasma-derived medicines they rely on. And you'll be rewarded up to $1,000 your first month. Learn more at grifolsplasma.com.
Thank you so much for listening today, guys. Please subscribe to the podcast, and if you could head to iTunes specifically and leave a rating or review, that would help so much because it makes it easier for other people with HA who are Googling around to find the podcast really easily. So if you do that, you're doing a service to all of the women